From Dalton, who was wrongly arrested, then sent to a detention center hundreds of miles away from her home, is taking steps to legally remain here in the U.S. Atlanta News First Alani Latang is live in Midtown Atlanta tonight. And Alani, Arias-Cristobal spoke today about her time in that detention center.
She did, and she said it only strengthened her call for immigration reform, especially for people that she was living with that were like her, had no criminal history. And she says she's thankful to be home, her life is anything but enjoyable right now.
I think the perfect word is drained.
Arias-Cristobal is out of ICE custody, but is not out of living in fear.
It kind of flips your world. We now kind of live a little bit more in fear. Before we lived in fear, now a lot more.
Jimena, flanked with her lawyers, says her life has been on pause since her release. The college student's life got upended after Dalton police admitted to wrongfully arresting her for driving without a license, after they say they pulled over the wrong car for a traffic violation. The arrest landed her in ICE detention for several weeks when officials learned she'd been in the U.S. since the age of 4 without papers. A judge eventually granted her bond, and she's been home with family since last week.
I used to run every single day, go to the gym, hang out with friends on a daily, and that's not something I can do anymore because I do think I am a target in my community.
The city of Dalton dropped all charges against Jimena. The officer who wrongfully arrested her resigned.
I forgive him, and there's nothing that I hold against him.
Jimena's lawyer says the wrong arrest might help her case. They are looking to get Jimena approved for a U visa. It's given to people who are victims of certain crimes, including false arrest.
What I want to do is make a difference for as many people as I can before I die, especially during administrations like the Trump administration, where victories are harder to come by.
Jimena says for the people she lived with in ICE detention, she's calling for immigration reform.
There's horror stories in there, things people wouldn't even imagine. And I just pray for a better system and a better America that can allow people to get legal status without having to go through the trauma they're going through in there.
Jimena tells us that the Dalton College is allowing her to take her finals. She'll resume classes this fall. And as for her father, who was also detained and released and is undocumented, they now both have the same lawyers. They say their hearing will be in late 2026 or 2027. And for that U visa, the lawyers say the backlog for approval is 15 to 20 years. Reporting live in Atlanta, I'm Alani Latang, Atlanta News First.